Hey folks, it's John at Simply Sprouts, and a lot of people ask, now that you're at war with the squash bugs, what are some other things we can do to try to ward this off? Well, every night, it doesn't get dark until about 9 o'clock here in Virginia. This time of year is middle of July, and so usually between 8 and 9, where it's a little bit cooler, I get out here and I check out my plants, and I kind of do a walkthrough. So I'm going to show you a couple of days or evenings of my walkthrough and what we find and what we do here down at Simply Sprouts Farm to try to control these nasty squash bugs. So stay tuned. Now, I've never really looked that hard at the side of these things before, but again, this is the second time that we got squash bugs. This is the lantern cloche, and you can see that the zucchini plants in here are about ready to pop out. Look at this, there's another squash bug over here. Okay, so and a nymph too, get him. But I'm gonna have to recommend to start looking at around these micro mesh, because they can't get to it, but they know it's there. But here's the problem. You look at this lantern cloche, I've got maybe a day or two more, and then I got to set these guys free. What I'm going to do is, as soon as I set these free, I'm going to go down the bottom part where I still got some space, and I'm going to plant 4 more zucchini plants. So mature plants can fight squash bugs a little bit better. You can get some fruit off of them if they get attacked, but they'll do better than the smaller plants. So check your micro mesh. That's something new that I would never have thought about, but I guess they're just going to hang around and hopefully get in someday. These are my watermelons over here. They have gotten on watermelons, but I've never really seen them kill them. I've seen them like walk through in the vegetation on the watermelons before, but never really seen any deaths. Here are all my squash and everything under the homemade cloches. Everybody looks really good. Everybody's green. I got some weeds in there. It's hard to get weeds out when you're doing that, but everybody's looking good. And of course now I'm going down and looking on the micro mesh to see if I see any squash bugs. What we got here? It's just a fly. Don't see any more. I mean, they're not here, but it's starting to get dark. The lights are even coming on over here in the garden. Gets dark about a little before 9 here this time of year, and it's about 8:45. So we're about there. But everybody's looking good, but these guys up here, man, they have really taken off. But, so I can let these grow a lot longer than I can the lantern cloches because it's taller. But that's part of the plan. Okay, folks, so we're talking about squash bug prevention, but I do have some what I would consider sacrificial plants out here, and take a look at what I'm doing with them. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Over here, if you saw another video, we planted some wildflowers, and we're back behind it. We've got some sunflowers coming in. But I left, it's probably a pumpkin, because we did grow pumpkins here last year. But this just came back on its own. And so it's July 10th in Zone 7A. So pretty much every day you want to come out here and check. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, yeah, here we go. There's some squash bug eggs right here. So there's some parents around here as I'm squishing these. And you can use tape, but I never seem to have tape out here. There they are. There's some very white music playing out here for them. But two more. There's actually a third one down there too. They always like to get in the root. And if you don't do anything, pretty soon this plant will be dead. So, all right. I gotta go feed these to the chickens. I'll be back. Yeah, it's almost mid-July here, and this is where my new raised bed Brad and I did this year. And this thing here came back on its own. I'm not even sure what it is. I have a feeling it's either a birdhouse gourd or a loofah gourd. Not sure, but came over here and I've already picked 7 squash bugs off of this plant. When you don't have very many things to choose from, like I do right now in my garden, because everything's under the cliche pretty much, they're going to congregate in one place, and that's the idea. You want to get them in one place, and if you lose that plant, no harm, no foul, really, as long as you can get the squash bugs, and you know, we'll take the plant out. We'll burn the area if we have to, but you know, this is really a prime example of a sacrificial type plant. I didn't even know it was coming back, so I put it up here on this trellis, and I'm gonna clip it up real good with these clips here to really get it so it'll make sure it'll grow up the trellis. And again, I can monitor the ground a lot better. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so I really took a lot of leaves off here. I only really needed one of those little clips up there at the top. Just kind of guide the plant over the next couple days. It killed another squash bug. I also watered over here, so a little while ago, and the squash bugs, they could come up on the top of the limbs when that happens. Now, squash bugs won't attack your beans, or at least I've never seen them do it. But we have a little bunny rabbit here in the garden, as well as tonight we figured out there is a groundhog that's somehow getting through. And they've been eating some of these beans, so this bean here has died. And you want to get rid of this stuff. You want to get this stuff out of here, because great place for cover for squash bugs. They love it. And it's right next to a plant they'd like to feed on. So you want to get rid of, I got some beans in here. Yeah. But you want to get this all cleaned up so they don't have any place to hunker down for the night. Okay, this wild mess over here is actually my cucumbers. And these cucumber plants I put on these trellises here. They're mainly, I got them from Gardener Supply, and they're supposed to be mainly for tomato plants, but they work pretty well for cucumbers as well. And what I'm just trying to do is get the leaves off the ground, and I'm actually going to come in here this weekend and do some clipping on it. I'm trying to keep as much as I can from around the ground line, so and make it go vertical, so if there's eggs under here for squash bugs, I can see them. And this plant in particular right here has been attacked several times. It's had there's some squash bug eggs right there. It's had several squash bugs already on it, and I killed them, fed them to the chickens. Again, don't squish them in the garden because it'll just attract more bugs. And I'll come in here this weekend and really get this bottom cleaned up, so But there's a squash bug in here somewhere because they had to be, because they lay the eggs. So what you want to do in that case is get down here to the bottom, start just moving things around, and there they are. I have 2 down here, and squash bugs are in there. There they are. These are my cucumbers on the other side, the other raised bed over here. And unfortunately, I found a nymph. Still a little white. You can see it very well. But that means the eggs have hatched. And I saw him because he was kind of skittering around down here. And it's getting dark, so. But I decided to look down here because, again, I saw some yellow. Yellow leaves is a big indication. I mean, as long as you're fertilizing, it's telling me, hey, I've got I got a problem. So I gotta get out here tomorrow and really thin these bottoms, because these guys are going up now, so I can trim down and be able to see even easier. Okay, we've done a lot of videos on this, so I'm not going to beat this one to death, but this time of year, I pretty much always have a sprayer with some water in it, and I pretty much always have a thing of soap. Now, some people have asked me what kind of soap. I haven't found that any difference between the insecticidal soap, the Dawn soap, or the El Cheapo blue soap. I just happen to have this thing of Dawn because it was on sale, and it was just as cheap as the El Cheapo brand. So this is 75 ounces of Dawn, and all I do is this thing is about halfway full, so this is not an exact science, but what you want is to be able to produce soap. So that should be more than enough, okay? And I'm gonna get to spraying around, show you what we do. Again, we've done a lot of videos on this, so I'm not gonna hog up all the time doing this, but you want to get the area wet. I mean, we've seen nymphs, so we know they're around here, and that'll get them to come up. See, they're right there. And the soap will do them in. You see him? Yep, there he is. So, and there's some more right here, but you've got to get the soap on them. You can't just spray around and expect that you're just gonna be lucky and kill them. You've got to get the soap on them, and these aren't nymphs here; these are adults. So the key with the soap is it gets on their exoskeleton and they can't breathe. So that's all there is to it. Now, of course, now that we've seen these, you've got to check under the leaves, and again, make sure that there's no eggs anywhere. But these guys are going down. I like to spray at the end of the day because the bees are gone. They're all home, so we're not going to hurt them at all. But there's quite a few squash bugs down here, so we'll hopefully be able to save this plant. But if it starts all turning yellow, we'll have to pull it. But that's okay, because again, I got my other stuff over here, and they're mature plants now, and so we're good. But keeping this stuff on a trellis has been great. It really opens it up. You can see all the way down. I think that's another one that's just come out, so I'll spray him down too. You notice they're not moving. Again, we're not going to do much more of this because there's several films on Simply Sprout's website, on YouTube, all about using soap. But it's a good idea to get out of here and at night and check under your leaves. This one here came up on its own. It looks healthy. I don't think bugs have got, oh, there's bugs in there. I see the bugs in there. So I don't know if you can see them. And there's the next two. So we'll keep spraying, and I'm going to take these guys out. And if for some reason you don't feel like it's working all that great, take the sprayer and shake it, it'll make the water soapier, okay? Because really, you're just turning soapy water on them, so the soapier the better. And you can always add more soap if you need to. I mean, it's okay. They're not going to complain because hopefully they'll be dead. And really, the only reason why I even look at this plant is because this leaf right here was yellow, and that's showing us some stress on this plant. And what do you know? They got squash bugs. Okay, this is where I was yesterday when I said I was going to get things cleaned up a little bit. You know, they're going up the trellis here, but you want to keep the ground, especially around the main stems, clean. Before I started shooting, there was 2 squash bugs right down here in the bottom. That's where they were. So definitely want to be able to see down to these stems. And I cut some of the foliage back too, and lo and behold, after I cut the foliage back, I realized I had another cucumber plant right here. So, but it looks a lot better. It's a little cleaner. Squash bugs, I probably don't want to be out in this Virginia heat during the day either. So it looks a lot better. So this corner here is certainly, I can walk by now and look, and obviously I haven't watered yet. So I'm just going to spray some soap in the general area and see if anybody pops out. This process, again, you don't have to use the soap at this point, because when it gets wet, they try to get away from the moisture, so they go up the stem, so you'll see them up there. But that's pretty much where we're at now. So but everybody's looking good, and I got a nice cucumber going on that one there. So I'll have some cucumber sandwiches pretty soon, guys. Again, these things are just, this is our garden cloche again, and they are still getting on the garden cloches here. Again, don't squish them. Take them, feed them to the chickens, or put them in a water bottle or something. It'll attract more. Here I am going down between the 2 rows here of my homemade ones, and there's a hole right here. I don't know how this happened, but I'm going to use a couple of clothespins to see if I can close it up. There's little holes down there too. That's not good. What I did was I just kind of rolled it up on itself to close the hole. Put those there. There's still a little hole down here. I'm going to get some tape or something to put over that tomorrow. There's a patched one over here too. But you got to keep an eye on these things, because they will try to get in, but it doesn't look like anybody's gotten in. Everybody's still real green. Okay folks, it's 8:58 and we got just a little bit of sunlight left, so I was able to get some tomatoes pruned down and check some other places for some squash bugs. And you know, we'll be back at it again tomorrow evening, checking around, making sure that the bugs, that the few plants we got out there, if they're attacking them, which is the only plants they can attack right now, we get rid of them. And until we take the cloches off, that's what we want to do. I mean, if you were like us last year, we planted 50 to 100 pumpkins within a week or two, and they went everywhere, and we just couldn't control them. So this way, when we have a few plants, we can check them every day and hopefully ward them off while our best plants are growing undercover. So this is Simply Sprouts Farm. This is John saying take care, God bless, and we'll see you soon.